Whenever you see a metalhead in media, what do you think of? Usually people think of people with dark hair, eyeliner, emo stuff, and then they're like, oh, and then they say, oh yeah, rock on, those type of people. And I'm not a metalhead, but I do like to listen to metal music. But it just kind of annoys me of seeing this trope so many times. And whenever I saw Deathgasm, I was finally proud that this movie didn't make that silly trope of yeah, dude, or gothic, or the gothic stereotype that we've seen so much in movies. And it actually tells us why people listen to metal in the first place. Now, this movie's plot is about Zach and his friends who make the band Deathgasm, with behind a bunch of other names that I don't want to say. Anyways, anyways, they start a metal band, and they want to play the most metal song on Earth, which unleashes the metal apocalypse, which is when a bunch of metalhead zombies invade the town. And while that happens, Zach has to face the ultimate fear a metalhead has. I'm just joking. He has to face another thing that he never realized he had: feelings for a girl. Now, before I get into the cons of this movie, I'm going to go with the pros of this movie. The pros of this movie is, yes, this is a zombie movie. There is going to be practical effects in this, and they are really, really good for a movie that's like less than $1 million. I think this made less than $1 million. Also, the characters are really engaging. Zach, I think, gives probably the most... Zach's quote about why we listen to metal is probably the most accurate that I've seen so far. And this movie doesn't make fun of them. It actually embraces the metalhead, since the director was originally a metalhead. Another thing I like about this movie is its humor. The movie is really funny through its editing and the characters. The girl that Zach is dating, she's really funny, and her reaction when she first kills a person, oh, it's good. And when she first listens to metal too is also hilarious. Another thing that I like about this movie. Oh, I forgot to mention one funny scene: the church stuff. The church stuff is a staple in horror and indie horror media. Another thing I like about this movie is that the characters feel like characters. In my opinion, they don't feel like any Hollywood, like brash Hollywood characters. They feel like genuine people that you would meet sometime. Now I don't know what to think about a lot more about this movie. It's been like 2 years since I haven't seen it. I'm trying to recollect it from memory. It is on Pluto, but I don't want my parents to think, oh, our child is watching this movie, and also because January is ending, I really don't have a bunch of time for me personally to watch these movies. And there's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Like, I'm not joking. You may think this is an excuse, but I actually do. So I don't have enough time to fill in the slots of watching an actual movie, but I have seen it from experience 2 years ago. So that's all the pros I can think of. Now the cons I have with this movie is only at the end where Zach's friend, what was his name again? Let me look it up. Brody. Yeah, Brody. When he dies, and at first I was like, oh shoot, no. And he has a sympathetic death, but he gets revived as a record player, and I'm like, okay, I feel like that was kind of lazy. And then they spit out more inappropriate title names, and that's really the only cons I have with this movie. Other than that, this movie is gory, fun, and it actually embraces the metalheads out there. So if you're a metalhead out there, go watch it. This is a movie that you might enjoy. It's on, let me see, Pluto TV, Tubi, Peacock, Vudu, and Plex for free to watch, with ads, of course. Anyways, that's just my cons of this movie. I have to give this movie somewhere between an 8 or 9 out of 10, just because I felt like Brody's death was meaningless. But anyways, other than that, yeah, that was my review for Deathgasm, and it's probably the last movie I'll review in Halloween in January. I'm just joking. I'm gonna review one more horror movie, and that movie is me and my sister's favorite, is my sister's favorite horror movie. Stay tuned.